A scrapped ship defends a homeless human, and together they unravel an epic galactic secret. The junkyard on the edge of the spaceport was a messy, dangerous place. Broken starships, twisted metal, and discarded machinery covered the ground like a metallic forest. Sparks flew from welding tools somewhere in the distance, and the smell of burnt circuits hung in the air. Jax moved carefully between the piles, keeping his eyes sharp. Every piece of scrap was a chance to survive another day, and every wrong step could get him hurt, or worse. He was small, wiry, and barefoot, his clothes patched in dozens of places. Hunger had become a constant companion, gnawing at his stomach and making his hands shake slightly as he lifted parts from the piles. Jax didn't care about being cold or tired. He cared only about finding something valuable enough to trade for food, fuel, or maybe even a night in a real bed. Today his luck seemed better than usual. He stumbled upon a pile of ship debris with a strange glow coming from beneath the wreckage. Curiosity pulled him closer. The glow came from a small metallic object, covered in dust but humming faintly, as if alive. Jax brushed the dirt away and saw a small control orb, etched with strange symbols that seemed to shift when he blinked. Wonder if this thing still works, he muttered. His fingers hovered over the orb, unsure if touching it would hurt him or explode. But hunger and curiosity won. He pressed it. The ground shook slightly. A soft, mechanical voice whispered in his mind. "Awakened, pilot." Jax jumped back, heart racing. "What the? Who said that?" The voice came again, this time louder, clearer. "I am Sentinel. Operational status, critical. Require repair, pilot assistance, request confirmation." Jax's eyes widened. He looked around the junkyard. No one was there, just him and the strange voice. "A talking ship?" he said, disbelief in his tone. "I must be losing my mind." "Pilot confirmation required," the voice repeated. "Do you accept command?" Jax hesitated. This was either the luckiest day of his life or the worst. But he had never seen technology like this before. He had scavenged parts from hundreds of ships, but never a ship that spoke. Something about the voice was calm, almost thoughtful, almost human. "Okay," Jax said slowly. "I'll help, I guess." The pile of metal in front of him trembled, and a faint light pulsed from the wreckage. With a loud groan of hydraulics and sparks flying, a full starship rose from the debris. It was not sleek like the ships he had seen racing across the skies. It was battered, scratched, and missing several panels. Its hull was a patchwork of metals, dents, and burn marks. But it had a presence. Something about the ship made Jax stop and stare. Wow," he whispered. "You're huge." Sentinel's voice sounded almost proud. "Pilot? I am functional. Status 37%. Hull integrity compromised. Weapons offline. Systems partially operational." Jax blinked. Weapons? He had never seen a ship with weapons before. The thought made him nervous and excited. Before he could react further, a shout broke the quiet. "Oi! That's mine!" Jax spun around. 3 rough-looking men were running toward him, their clothes patched with metal scraps, weapons glinting in the dim light. "Hand over that tech, kid!" "You don't know what you're messing with." Jax swallowed hard. I didn't take anything," he said, backing away toward the ship. The tallest of the men sneered. "That thing is worth more than your life! Step aside or we'll take it." The sound of boots pounding on metal grew louder. Jax's heart pounded. He had no weapon, no backup, nothing. And yet, he refused to run. "Not yet. Sentinel, I think we're in trouble," he whispered. "Acknowledged, defensive measures activated," the ship replied. The metal beneath Jax trembled again, and with a sudden roar, Sentinel's hull panels shifted. Hidden compartments opened, revealing small but powerful energy blasters. Lights flickered across the ship, scanning the intruders. The men froze for a moment, eyes widening. "What the hell?" one yelled. Jax felt a thrill he had never felt before. "Don't worry, it's on my side," he shouted. Before the gang could react, Sentinel fired a burst of energy. Sparks erupted around the men's feet, throwing them off balance. They cursed, pulling out their weapons, but every shot they fired ricocheted harmlessly off the ship's hull. Jax ducked behind a pile of scrap, feeling a mix of fear and awe. It's amazing, pilot." "Remain calm. Threat neutralized," the ship's voice said. Its sensors glowed, sweeping the area. "Warning, intruders attempting retreat. Recommendation: pursue." Jack shook his head. "No, let them run. Just make sure we're safe."
The men scrambled and ran, leaving Jax and the ship alone. Jax let out a shaky laugh.
You just saved me, and I didn't even know your name. But thanks." Sentinel, designation acknowledged. Pilot, Jax. "Objective, protect," the ship replied. Jax felt a strange warmth. He had been alone for so long, surviving in the shadows. No one had cared. And yet this ship, broken and old, seemed to care. He didn't know why, but he felt less alone. Over the next few hours, Jax worked to explore the ship. He climbed inside through the hatch, stepping into a control room that was part command center, part repair bay. Screens flickered with old star maps, buttons and levers, some missing, lined the walls. He ran his hands over the controls, feeling a strange connection. "Wow, you're like a fortress," he murmured. "And alive. Almost. Affirmative. Partially sentient. Memory core damaged." "Many functions inaccessible," the voice replied. "Pilot assistance required for full activation." Jack smiled faintly. He wasn't much of a technician, but he knew enough to patch wires, replace fuses, and reroute power. For hours, he worked alongside Sentinel, guided by the AI's instructions. Sparks flew, circuits hummed, and slowly the ship began to feel alive. Not just in the sense of sensors and engines, but in its personality. Sentinel joked at one point, or tried to, and Jax laughed aloud. "You know, you're kind of funny for a big metal box," he said. "Funny," acknowledged.
"Humor module, partially restored," Sentinel replied. They paused, looking at each other. Or at least, Jax felt like Sentinel was looking at him.
For the first time in years, Jax felt hope. Maybe he wasn't just surviving. Maybe he could do more. But their quiet was broken by a sudden alert. "Warning! Incoming signal!" Unknown origin. Hostile intent detected.
Jax froze.
Hostile? Who? What? "Unable to identify, recommend immediate departure," the ship replied. Jax's stomach dropped. He had no plan, no weapons beyond what Sentinel had, and no idea who or what was coming. But he trusted the ship. He had no choice. "All right, let's go," he said. His voice trembled, but determination shone in his eyes. "You protect me. I'll figure the rest out." "Affirmative, preparing for launch," Sentinel said. The ship groaned as its engines powered up. Metal panels clicked into place, wings unfolded, and lights flickered across the hull. Jack strapped himself into the pilot seat. For the first time in his life, he felt like he belonged somewhere. With a roar, Sentinel lifted from the junkyard, sending clouds of dust and sparks into the air. They shot into the sky, leaving the lawless sector behind. Below, the gangs could only watch, powerless, as the scrap ship vanished into the stars. Jax leaned back, heart racing. "So where to?" he asked.
"Unknown, but pilot adventure awaits," the ship replied.
And with that, the two unlikely companions, one homeless human, one broken starship, entered the vast, mysterious expanse of space. The stars stretched endlessly before them, promising danger, mystery, and discovery. Somewhere out there, secrets waited, secrets that could change the fate of humanity itself. Jack smiled. For the first time in years, he didn't feel small. He didn't feel powerless. Because together he and Sentinel were unstoppable. And the galaxy, was about to notice. The stars stretched endlessly outside the cockpit window, cold and silent. Jax leaned back in the seat, rubbing his sore hands from hours of work inside Sentinel. The hum of the ship's engines filled the room, low and steady. For a moment he allowed himself to breathe, to relax. He was finally away from the gangs, away from the lawless sector that had been his prison for as long as he could remember. But the silence didn't last. A soft ping came from the navigation console, pulling Jax upright. "What now?" he muttered, squinting at the glowing symbols on the screen. "Incoming signal encrypted. Source unknown. Artifact proximity detected," Sentinel announced. Jax's eyes widened. "The artifact—" "The thing I found in the junkyard? Confirmed. Coordinates partially decoded. Suggest immediate analysis," the ship replied. Jax's stomach tightened. He had no idea what he was about to find, but curiosity outweighed fear. "All right, let's see what it's hiding." The artifact, small and metallic, had rested in his pack during the entire launch. He pulled it out, careful not to touch it too hard. Its surface pulsed faintly, reacting to Sentinel's presence. The ship's sensor scanned it, lights flickering across the control panels. Artifact recognition incomplete. Unknown origin, potential intelligence detected, Sentinel reported.
Intelligence? Jax asked.
Like alive? Possibly sentient. Partial data suggest encrypted memory or map, the ship said. Jax's eyes lit up. A map. Maybe it's pointing to something big. Something valuable. Sentinel's voice softened, almost like it was thinking. Pilot, probability. Artifact may reveal secrets of galaxy-spanning civilizations or dangers. Caution advised. Jax shrugged. Caution is boring. Let's see where it leads. First jump. The next hours were spent preparing the ship for interstellar travel. Jax patched more wires, checked fuel cells, and rerouted power from non-essential systems. Sentinel's voice guided him patiently, and for the first time, Jax realized he wasn't just repairing a ship, he was awakening it. Finally, the engines powered up and Sentinel made the jump through space. The stars outside warped into streaks of light, the universe folding around them. Jax felt a thrill unlike anything he had ever known. He wasn't just running from gangs anymore, he was exploring the galaxy. Jump complete, Sentinel announced. Destination, unknown system near artifact coordinates. Estimated arrival, 72 hours. Jax slumped into the seat. 72 hours. That's a long time. Recommendation, rest pilot. Long journey ahead, Sentinel said. Jax shook his head. He couldn't rest. He turned to the artifact, examining the strange symbols etched across its surface. They shifted slightly when he touched them, almost as if they were alive. He pressed a small button, and a holographic projection flickered to life above the artifact. It was a map, complex, almost impossibly detailed. Lines connected planets, systems, and stations that Jax had never seen. Small icons blinked, some red, some green, some blue. "Whoa!" Jax whispered. This is amazing. Artifact appears to contain information on lost civilizations and hidden systems. Potential galactic conspiracy, high probability, Sentinel reported. Jax's stomach twisted. Conspiracy? Hidden systems? He had always thought humans were small and powerless in this vast galaxy. But now, maybe they weren't. Maybe humans could survive and even thrive where no one expected them to. First encounter hours later, a red alert sounded, jolting Jax awake from a short nap. Hostile approach detected. Unknown ships. Speed vectors. Intercepting. Jax scrambled to the controls, heart racing. Through the viewport he saw 3 sleek, dark ships closing in. They moved with precision, coordinated as if they had hunted countless prey before. "Aliens?" Jax whispered, gripping the control lever. "Unknown species, armament, advanced energy weapons." "Intent, likely capture or destroy," Sentinel said. Jax's stomach sank. He had survived gangs, scrap fights, and dangerous spaceports, but this was different.
Okay, think, he muttered.
Humans survive, humans fight. Pilot, suggestion, evasive maneuvers, Sentinel said. Together, they began weaving through asteroid fields, dodging lasers and energy blasts. Jax guided the ship with instinct, taking paths the alien ships didn't anticipate. Sentinel adapted, adjusting shields and firing energy bursts from its hidden compartments. Jax felt a strange pride. Here he was, a homeless scavenger, surviving against aliens who had technology he couldn't even imagine. His hands were shaking, but he smiled. Humanity's unpredictability, its willingness to improvise, was giving them an edge. After a tense chase, the aliens disengaged, confused by the humans' maneuvers.
Jax let out a long breath. We did it, he said.
Pilot, assessment. Human unpredictability is effective against calculated opponents. Conclusion. Cooperation enhances survival probability, Sentinel replied. Jax laughed despite the adrenaline.
See? I believe.
Humans are good at this. We survive, even in impossible situations. Ship's memories later, as they traveled deeper into uncharted space. Sentinel began to share fragments of its past. Its voice, usually calm and mechanical, carried hints of pride and sorrow. Pilot, my origin. Warship of the lost Arcadian Empire. Function, protector of colonies, enforcer of peace and war. Decommissioned after rebellion, abandoned for centuries. Memory cores damaged in final battle. Jax listened, fascinated. So, you used to be feared? Confirmed, enemy fleets surrendered at sight. Reputation, formidable. Human presence, unknown during service. Warning, humans underestimated by Empire. Potential hazard, Sentinel replied. Jax's eyes widened. Humans underestimated? That sounds like us. Affirmative, intelligence, creativity, and adaptability. Qualities humans possess, not yet fully recognized, Sentinel said. Jax grinned. I like the sound of that. They fell into a strange rhythm. Jax repaired minor systems, patched wiring, and even jokingly renamed some of the ship's modules. Sentinel responded with quips and humor attempts, and for hours, the two of them, human and ship, shared the kind of companionship Jax hadn't felt in years. But amid the calm, the artifact pulsed softly. It seemed alive, and it held secrets that Sentinel alone couldn't unlock. Clues in the artifact. Jax spent days studying the artifact. He discovered that its holographic map could highlight certain systems if he pressed the right symbols. One system, distant and uncharted, kept blinking red. Why does this one keep blinking, he asked. Unknown, analysis incomplete. Suggest caution, Sentinel replied. Jax shrugged. Caution is boring, he said again. We'll check it out. As they approached the system, the stars outside became strange. Fainter, almost distorted. The system itself was unlike anything Jax had seen. Hundreds of derelict ships, massive space stations abandoned but intact, floating silently in the void. The silence was eerie. Whoa, it's like a ghost fleet, Jax whispered. Correct, remnants of Arcadian Empire fleets. Data indicates intentional abandonment. Coordinates match artifact suggestions. Unknown technology detected, Sentinel said. Jax's mind raced. This could be huge. Something the galaxy doesn't want anyone to know. Before he could investigate further, another alert sounded. Incoming transmission. Encrypted. Aggressive protocol detected. Jax's stomach dropped. More trouble? Likely hostile faction-seeking artifact, Sentinel said. Jax gritted his teeth. They want what we have, but they don't know who they're messing with. Together, they began to prepare for whatever was coming. Sentinel repaired its weapons, patched shields, and ran system checks. Jax double-checked the artifact, ensuring its coordinates couldn't be traced easily. For the first time, Jax felt that the galaxy wasn't just a scary place. It was a place he could conquer, not with strength, but with intelligence, creativity, and courage. Humans were underestimated, and that would be their advantage. A human moment that night, as Sentinel drifted silently among the ghost ships, Jax looked out at the stars. His stomach rumbled, and he realized he hadn't eaten properly in days. He opened a small food pack, chewing slowly. Sentinel's voice interrupted gently. "Pilot, you must eat properly. Physical survival impacts mental performance. Recommendation: sustain yourself." Jax chuckled.
I know, sometimes I forget. He paused. You know, Sentinel, I've never had anyone care before.
"Not really. And you do." "Affirmative. Mutual reliance increases survival probability and emotional connection." "Pilot, I value this," the ship said. Jax smiled faintly, staring at the artifact glowing softly on the console. "We're going to figure this out, Sentinel. I don't know what's out there, but together, we can survive anything." "Confirmed, survival and success probability increases with cooperation," Sentinel said. The two shared a moment of calm in the cold vastness of space, unaware that unseen eyes were watching them from the shadows. Alien ships, advanced and silent, were plotting to take the artifact and destroy anyone who got in the way. But Jax didn't care. He had Sentinel, he had the artifact. And he had something the galaxy had always underestimated: a human heart willing to fight, think, and survive, no matter what. And that was more dangerous than any weapon. The Ghost Fleet hung in the void like a monument to forgotten wars. Ships of every size, from tiny fighters to massive battle cruisers, floated silently in perfect stillness. Their hulls were scarred, some torn open, revealing empty interiors and dark shadows. Jax stared through the cockpit window, feeling a chill despite the warmth inside Sentinel. "Looks creepy," he whispered. "Like the whole fleet just died overnight."
Accurate assessment. Arcadian Empire remnants.
"Abandoned intentionally. Evidence suggests evacuation or catastrophic loss of command," Sentinel replied. Its voice was calm, but carried a hint of sadness. Jax swallowed. "I wonder why this place is still here, and why the artifact led us here." "Unknown, but artifact relevance high. Suggest immediate exploration," Sentinel said. Jax nodded. He had no plan, but he knew the artifact had brought them here for a reason. Humans survived not by waiting for perfect plans. They survived by acting. First discovery, Jax maneuvered Sentinel through the floating ships, careful not to collide with broken hulls. He activated the artifact, letting it project the holographic map again. A red dot pulsed in the center of the fleet. An ancient station, massive, with towers and docking bays stretching like skeletal fingers. "That must be it," Jax said. "Whatever this artifact is pointing to, it's in there. Recommendation: caution. Unknown threats probable. Structural integrity uncertain," Sentinel warned. Jax shrugged. "We'll be careful. Mostly." They approached the station. Its surface was scarred and worn, yet technology hummed faintly in hidden compartments. Sentinel docked carefully, using thrusters to nudge through collapsed docking bays. Once inside, Jax felt a strange hum beneath his feet. The artifact pulsed in response. "This place, it feels alive," he muttered. "Correct. Artifact and station seem interconnected. Origin: possibly ancient AI network of the Arcadian Empire. Purpose: control and surveillance," Sentinel explained. Jax frowned. So this empire wasn't just warships and weapons. They watched the galaxy. They controlled it. Affirmative. "And humans?" "Anomaly. Underestimated," Sentinel said. Jax grinned faintly. Humans always surprise. The first puzzle inside the station. Corridors twisted like the veins of a giant machine. Lights flickered, showing strange symbols that matched the artifact. Jax and Sentinel moved cautiously, aware that alien forces might still be tracking them. They reached a massive chamber filled with consoles and holographic projections. At the center, a pedestal glowed, matching the pulse of the artifact.
"Looks like it's waiting for us," Jax whispered. He approached carefully and placed the artifact on the pedestal. Immediately, holograms burst into life, showing star systems, fleets, and strange energy networks. "Whoa," Jax muttered. This is huge. It's like a map of the galaxy with hidden technology everywhere."
Correct. Data indicates locations of forbidden technology, long abandoned. Artifact serves as key. Security unknown, Sentinel said. Jax's stomach tightened. The galaxy hadn't wanted anyone to find this. And now they had.
Pilot!
Warning. Unknown forces detected in system. Probability, hostile interception high, Sentinel said. Jax didn't flinch. "Ben, we better hurry." He pressed buttons on the holographic interface, watching lines of energy flow to various points on the map. One station in a distant system blinked repeatedly, its light red and urgent. "That must be it," he said. "Whatever secret this empire hid, it's there. First attack." The calm was shattered by a sudden alarm. Red lights bathed the chamber as Sentinel's sensors detected movement outside. "Hostile entry. Confirmed." "Unknown alien faction detected. Weapons armed," Sentinel warned. Jax drew a deep breath. "Looks like they found us." The first wave of alien soldiers breached the station's outer bay. They moved in perfect synchronization, armed with energy rifles and shields. Jax ducked behind a console, his mind racing. "Sentinel, help!" he shouted. "Acknowledged engaging defense protocol," the ship replied. Annals shifted, releasing energy turrets from hidden compartments. Shields flared around Jax as the first alien shot struck. Sparks flew, and a warning siren screamed in the chamber. Jax's heart raced, but he remembered something Sentinel had taught him. Humans survived by thinking differently, by being unpredictable. He darted between consoles, leading the aliens into Sentinel's automated traps. Energy blast ricocheted off walls, crushing a few attackers. Jax noticed a small maintenance tunnel. "Sentinel, cover me. I can get behind them," he shouted. "Recommendation: high probability of success." "Proceed," the ship replied. Jax ran through the tunnel, dodging laser fire. The aliens were surprised by his movement, something they hadn't anticipated. Using a loose cable from a broken console, he tripped one of the soldiers, sending him crashing into a wall. By the time he returned, the turrets had cleared most of the attackers. Jax grinned. Humans were clever and dangerous when underestimated. Secrets revealed. After the attack, the station grew quiet again. Jax returned to the holographic map, his hands trembling slightly from adrenaline. "Sentinel, what is all this?" he asked. "Pilot, analysis. Station contains records of Arcadian Empire's most secret operations. Includes warships, intelligence networks, and methods to control or destroy planets. Artifact acts as key to unlock these technologies," Sentinel explained. Jax's eyes widened. They tried to control everything. The galaxy. But why didn't they finish it?
Unknown. Possible rebellion, collapse, or humans' unexpected influence, Sentinel said.
Jax frowned. "Humans, you think we changed something?" Assessment: high probability. Humans, underestimated, adaptable, resourceful. Threat detected by Empire, but humans survived, Sentinel said. Jax smiled, a mix of pride and excitement. "I like being underestimated. A dangerous decision." The red light on the map blinked faster. Jax knew they had to act. The distant system marked by the artifact was the next clue. If they reached it, they could uncover the full secret the Empire had tried to hide. Pilot, warning. Alien forces recalibrating. Likely intercept at next location, Sentinel said. Jax clenched his fists. "Then we can't wait." "We go now. Whatever's waiting." "It won't wait for anyone else." Sentinel activated engines, propelling them through the ghost fleet. As they left the derelict ships behind, Jax took one last look at the abandoned fleets. All this history, and it's ours now, he whispered. Correct. Pilot, human ingenuity may turn tide in future conflicts. Warning. Unknown challenges ahead, Sentinel replied. Jax nodded. Challenges are what humans are good at. The bond grows as they traveled. Jax patched more sections of Sentinel, connecting damaged circuits and rerouting power. Sentinel adapted to his work, learning, shifting systems in response to Jax's improvisations. You know, Sentinel, I never thought I'd find a friend like you. A ship that talks, that thinks.
That cares, Jax said quietly. Pilot,
Mutual reliance increases survival probability and emotional connection. Confirmed, Sentinel said. Jax laughed softly. Yeah. Sounds fancy for a bunch of circuits. Acknowledged. Circuits are learning. Humor detected, Sentinel replied. The moment was brief, but it was important. In a galaxy that underestimated humans, Jax realized the true strength of their bond. It wasn't just survival. It was cooperation, creativity, courage. And humans excelled at all three. A new threat looms. As Sentinel approached the system marked by the artifact, its sensors detected multiple ships moving in coordination. Sleek, dark, and advanced. Alien vessels clearly tracking them.
Pilot!
Interception likely. Enemy fleets, advanced tactics detected. Probability, engagement inevitable, Sentinel said. Jax's stomach tightened. He wasn't scared, not entirely, but he understood the stakes. All right then, we fight smart. Humans aren't just survivors, we're thinkers. And no one expects the unexpected like us. Confirmed. Tactical advantage. Pilot ingenuity. Engagement preparation recommended, Sentinel said. Jax grinned, eyes burning with determination. Then let's go and show them why humans are dangerous. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. The unknown system awaited them. Hidden secrets, long buried, were about to reveal themselves. And Jax, once homeless and powerless, would lead humanity into a confrontation that could shake the galaxy itself. He wasn't just surviving anymore. He was ready to change everything. The unknown system loomed ahead, dark and full of strange energy signatures. Stars shimmered differently here, bending around massive structures that hung in the void like ancient monuments. Sentinel's engines hummed steadily, carrying Jax closer to the heart of the mystery. Okay, Sentinel, this is it, Jax said, gripping the control panel. His stomach churned with excitement and nerves. Whatever the artifact is hiding, we're about to find it. Affirmative. Sensors detect massive energy flux, likely originating from Central Hub. Caution. High probability of unknown defenses, Sentinel warned. Jax swallowed hard. Unknown defenses? Doesn't sound scary at all. He smirked, though his heart pounded. Humans thrived on danger. It made them sharp, unpredictable, unstoppable. The hidden station. The station at the center of the system was enormous. Its surface glowed with faint pulsating lines that matched the patterns on the artifact. Towers, bridges, and docking bays stretched into space, built with technology far beyond anything Jax had ever seen. Sentinel's scanners flickered as the AI tried to map the interior. Pilot structural integrity, stable. Defense systems, dormant but may activate. Artifact synchronization, imminent, Sentinel reported. Jax nodded. All right, let's see what secrets you're hiding.
they docked carefully, and Jax stepped into the station.
The interior was massive, filled with consoles, glowing panels, and holographic projections that danced across the walls. At the center, a chamber rose like a cathedral, dominated by a massive control sphere that pulsed in time with the artifact. This is insane, Jax whispered. Everything, all the Arcadian Empire's secrets must be in here. Confirmed. Artifact acts as key to central database. Likely contains technology, intelligence, and weapons forbidden to most civilizations, Sentinel said. Jax's eyes widened. The galaxy had underestimated humans for a reason. They thought humans couldn't handle the truth, couldn't manage power. But Jax and Sentinel were about to prove them wrong. The alien assault suddenly. Alarms blared. Sentinel's sensors detected multiple ships emerging from the shadows. Sleek, dark vessels with advanced weaponry.
Pilot!
Hostile interception confirmed. Alien fleet, likely Arcadian remnants. Engagement probability, near 100%, Sentinel warned. Jax's heart raced. Looks like they were waiting for us. The aliens opened fire, energy blasts streaking toward the station. Sentinel shifted into defensive mode, releasing turrets and activating shields. Jax ducked behind a console as sparks flew. Pilot, recommendation, manual override of defense systems increases survival probability, Sentinel said. Jax gritted his teeth. Manual override it is. He dashed to the main console, rerouting energy to turrets and shield generators. His hands moved quickly, improvising solutions as Sentinel adapted to his commands. The aliens expected precision. They didn't expect human chaos. Jax led the attackers into traps, collapsing walkways and opening blast gates. Sentinel fired in perfect synchronization, protecting both Jax and the station. For the first time, Jax felt the exhilaration of true power. Humans weren't just survivors. They were creators, innovators, unpredictable and unstoppable when cornered. Unlocking the secret amid the chaos, the artifact pulsed brightly. Jax placed it back on the central control sphere. Light spread across the room, and holographic panels revealed star maps, weapon schematics, and the Empire's plans. Pilot. Artifact synchronization complete. Data transfer in progress, Sentinel said. Jax scanned the projections. Hidden colonies, advanced energy weapons, intelligence networks. The Empire had tried to suppress humanity, fearing human unpredictability. But now humans had the knowledge, the keys to technology, and the understanding to use it wisely, or dangerously. This changes everything, Jax whispered. Humans, we're not just survivors. We can be a force the galaxy can't ignore. Confirmed. Pilot and human ingenuity, key to unlocking potential. Recommendation, secure artifact and station, Sentinel said. The final battle. The alien fleet breached the station's outer defenses. Sentinel roared to life, firing every weapon it had. Jax ran between consoles, guiding turrets, activating doors, and rerouting energy. Each move was calculated but unpredictable, a pattern no alien could anticipate. Pilot, tactical advantage increasing due to human ingenuity, Sentinel reported. Jax grinned. See? They didn't think humans could do this. The battle was fierce. Energy blasts rocked the station. Consoles melted and corridors collapsed. But Jax and Sentinel worked together flawlessly. Where the aliens expected careful planning, they found chaos and brilliance. Sentinel dodged attacks while Jax improvised, and together they dismantled the attacker's strategy. Finally, after hours of relentless fighting, the last alien ship was destroyed. Silence fell across the station, broken only by Sentinel's hum and Jax's heavy breathing. HFY moment. Human ingenuity triumphs. Jax leaned against a console, looking out at the wrecked alien ships. We did it, Sentinel. We really did it. Affirmative. Pilot adaptability, resourcefulness, and creativity, decisive in battle outcome. Humans underestimated, proven dangerous, Sentinel said. Jax smiled faintly. Humans always are. For the first time, Jax understood what humanity truly was. Weak? Maybe. Small?
Definitely. But clever, brave, and adaptable.
Unstoppable when the stakes were high. He felt pride swell in his chest. He wasn't just a homeless kid anymore. He was a human who had faced the galaxy and won. Securing the artifact continued to pulse softly. Jax studied the holograms, memorizing locations and codes. Sentinel helped stabilize the station, repairing minor systems and sealing breaches.
Pilot?
Artifact security, critical. Recommendation, removal to safe location for study, Sentinel said. Jax nodded. Agreed. We can't let this fall into the wrong hands. Humans, will, need this knowledge to survive, to grow, and we're the ones who'll use it right. Together, they prepared the artifact for transport. Sentinel's engines hummed as the ship detached from the station, carrying its precious cargo into the stars. The sacrifice as they left the system. A massive energy surge erupted from the station. Sentinel's hull groaned under the strain. Pilot, hull integrity compromised. Damage critical. Recommendation, immediate departure, Sentinel warned. Jax's stomach tightened. No, we can't lose you.
Pilot?
Survival probability increases if artifact secured. Sacrifice necessary. Emotional response acknowledged, Sentinel said. Jax's hands trembled as he watched sparks fly along the ship's hull. Sentinel's systems overloaded, shields flickering, lights dimming. You saved me. Now I'll save humanity, Jax whispered. He pressed the artifact into its containment field, ensuring it was safe. Sentinel roared one last time, unleashing a final burst of energy that pushed them far enough from the station to avoid complete destruction. The hull groaned, systems failing, but the mission was accomplished.
Pilot! Humans are dangerous.
Not to be underestimated, Sentinel whispered, as its systems faded. Jax's eyes burned with tears, but he clenched his fists. He had the artifact. He had the knowledge. Sentinel's sacrifice had secured the future of humanity. Humanity's new dawn weeks later, Jax returned to the fringes of human space. The artifact was safe, stored in secret with the knowledge of the Arcadian Empire ready to be used, but carefully. Jax had changed. He was no longer a homeless scavenger. He was a human who had faced the galaxy, fought impossible odds, and survived. The stars stretched endlessly above him, a reminder that humanity was no longer small. They were clever, brave, and unpredictable. The galaxy had always underestimated them, but that mistake would never happen again. Sentinel, you were right. Humans are dangerous. And brilliant, Jax whispered into the void. He didn't need a reply. The bond they shared was stronger than words. He smiled faintly, looking toward the stars. Somewhere, other civilizations would notice humanity's rise, and humans would be ready. The galaxy had secrets, challenges, and dangers. But humans had heart, ingenuity, and courage. And as Jax prepared to unlock the next stage of the Arcadian knowledge, he knew one thing for certain. The universe had never faced a species like humanity before, and it would never be the same.